This video, we are going to build a customer response generator that is able to draft an email response to be sent to a customer. All right, so we are going to input this CSV data that is a company that sells computers, laptops, and TV and other gadgets. So we are going to input this information into a knowledge base. All right, so the customer message and the response. For example, these are messages from the customer. Hi, I'm interested in buying a laptop. Can you recommend one? And this is the response. So we are going to build a knowledge base from this CSV so that we can be able to extract information from that. All right. So we are going to do that using the Llama2. That is the 7B chat, GGUF. And so if memory is an issue, we are going to do another alternative that uses the replicate API. That way we can run the 7 billion chat as well. All right, so let's get into that. Let me see a demonstration of how this works. Okay, so I'm going to copy one of the questions. Here I'm going to say that, okay, do you have any discount on the smartphones? I'm going to say, paste it here, I'm going to hit send. Let's see. All right, there we have it. So it actually drafts an email that will be sent to the customer. So we don't have to worry about creating a response. We already have everything in the knowledge base. So you see how it goes. So thank you for reaching out to us regarding smartphone discount. We appreciate your interest in our products and services. Currently, we have an ongoing promotion where you can enjoy 10% discounts on all smartphone. All right, this is perfect. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so you can see here, yes, we currently have a 10% discount. It's drafting it really, really well. All right, so let's try another one and let's see um, how long does the delivery takes for TV. Let me put that in here. All right, perfect. So, dear prospects, thank you for your interest in our product. The estimated delivery time for the TV is 3 to 5 business days. We strive to process and ship orders as quickly as possible to ensure timely delivery. Regarding inventory, yes, the product is currently in stock and ready to be shipped. All right, so let's see. All right, the estimated delivery time for the TV is 3 to 5 business days. Perfect. So you can see it is working really, really fine. All right, so with this, you can generalize it to a different perspective and different use cases. All right, you just have to feed in your knowledge base with whatever information that you want to be retrieved. Okay, so let me quickly walk you through the architecture. So this is the customer email, so you can feed in queries, complaints, right? So we are going to extract information from that, and we are going to split that into chunks. So we're going to say chunk one, chunk two, right? And we are going to create embedding. So we are going to, it's nothing but we are going to convert this text into numbers so that it can be stored in a knowledge base. Right, so when it create embeddings for the embeddings, we are going to use sentence transformers from Hugging Face, right? And we are going to store that here. So this is where the magic is going to happen. So that when the user asks a question, it creates an embedding like this one, conversion into numbers, and it creates some understanding. Try to create similarities, search from the one from the embeddings here, and into the knowledge base, it retrieves the answers and it ranks the numbers. So for the knowledge base, we are going to use the face as the vector store. So there are other options like ChromaDB. You can even use Pinecone, right? So it depends on whatever use cases you have. And we rank it, right? And we pick out we put that to give that to the LLM and it gives the answers to the user. Right? It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's get into the VS Code. Um, right, let me get into that. And we're going to create an environment. So we need a Hanging Face API and we need the replicate API token. So that's going to be used to run the cloud. If you want to do the big models that has a lot of memory, you can run that from the cloud. You can use the replicate API. I'm going to show you how to grab that and the Hanging Face API token. Okay, so in order to get the Hanging Face API token, what we are going to do is you go into Hanging Face and you go to settings. When you get to settings, you come to the access token. All right, and you can see the token here. You can copy that and you paste it in here. Okay, and to get the replicate API, what we can do is you go to replicate and you can sign in and you come here, go to API tokens, and you can copy that. You can create a new token name, and you can come here and copy that. Okay, it's pretty straightforward, and you paste it in here. All right, let's get into some requirements. What we're going to do now is these are the requirements that we're going to use to install in order to run the application. Okay, so we have Langchain, Streamlit, Touch, Accelerate, Sentence Transformers. We're going to need all this in here. The Python.env, Hugging Face Hub, C Transformers, and Replicate. So I'm going to show you how you can install that. Okay, so in the application, so next thing is, okay, I'm going to show you how you can download the Llama2 7B chat. In here, I'm going to attach the link so you can grab that. Okay, so in the Hugging Face, you get into the block and you go to File and Versions. All right, so within that, you see several of them here. Okay, if memory is not an issue, you can just download any of them. So I'll be using this one. So you go here and you click on download. I already have that, so I don't have to download it again. Okay, and there you have it here. All right, so we're going to import some libraries. So Streamlit for the framework to create the application. We're going to need the document loaders.csv. We want to load the CSV loader. All right, so that's going to help us load the CSV. It's right here. So face, we're going to need a face as the vector store. All right, so there you have it here. It's called the Facebook AI Similarity Search, and it's a library for efficient similarity search, and it's good at class range of these vectors. So we're going to use that to create a vector store. And we're going to need the Hugging Face embeddings to create our embeddings. All right, so we're going to need the sentence transformers from Hugging Face to create embeddings, prompt template to pass our prompt, the LLM chain to create a chain, replicate to run our models from the cloud, recursive character text splitter to split the text, C transformers to load a model from Hugging Face, and load.env to access our API token right from here. Okay, so once we call the load.env, it means that we are having access to our API tokens, right? So we can get access to the replicate and get access to the Hugging Face embeddings. All right, so if we create a new environment, let's see. All right, so let's see. What we have to do now is, if you want to create a new environment, you say Python dash env. When you hit enter, it's going to create a new environment just like this one. All right. And if you want to install the packages, you say pip install dash r requirement.txt. And when you hit enter, you give it some time to install these packages. Okay, when you hit enter, that is it. All right, so before we get into the code, if you've not subscribed to my channel, do where to subscribe for more contents like this. All right, let's get into it. So next thing is we want to load the data. So I'm going to say load data and split data, split in data into chunks. So let's create a function to load the data. So function load data. I'm going to say loader is equal to CSV, right? CSV loader. I'm write file path is equal to, so the file path is going to be equal to the customer response data. That's what we are calling in. You can input in any file that you want to get into a knowledge base so you can answer some questions. All right, so I'm going to say encoding is equal to UTF, that is the standard encoding, UTF-8. All right, I'm going to say CSV ax is equal to, I'm going to separate the rows. I'm going to say the limiter to limiter column. I'm going to separate that by a comma, separate each rows. So now let's store the loaded data into a variable called load, called data. Right, perfect. So let's split, let me say split, let me split this into chunks. Okay, so I'm going to say text splitter is equal to, so we are using the recursive text splitter. I'm going to say chunks size is equal to 500. Here overlap is equal to, say, maybe 20. I don't have much room, so I'm just gonna, let's see. I just have only 52 rows, so if you have a lot of them, you can just change the chunk sizes and the overlaps. All right, so text splitter, I'm gonna say text chunk, text chunks, go to the chunks, is equal to text splitter dot document, say data, and now I want to return the text chunks. Okay. Right. So let's create another function that is def. Let's create embeddings. Def create embeddings. I'm going to pass document in here. All right, so embeddings equal to, so I'm going to need the Hugging Face embedding. All right, so I'm going to say model name is equal to, so now we need to get our embedding. So we are going to use the Hugging Face. So we're going to use the sentence transformers to create the embeddings. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, and I'm going to pass the model quad. Model quads is equal to, so we are running that on CPU. CPU. Okay. Alright, so now let's create a vector store for the embeddings and the document. Store the face. So we are now creating the knowledge base. So we are passing the knowledge of the CSV customer message and responses to the vector store. Create a knowledge base so we can answer some questions. All right, so I'm going to say documents and embeddings. Right, so now let's return the vector store. Right, so let's create similarity search. Retrieve info query database. So let's say similar as db.similarity similarity search. So we're going to pass our query. And we want to return the stop 3, k is equal to 3. So our page content. So we want to get content, page content, stop page content dog in similar. So we want to iterate through the response, similar response. We want to iterate through the similar response and return the page content. So we want to return page content. Right, perfect. So let's create a template for to pass the prompt. So we can call it prompt template. Right, so template. All right, so I'm going to pass the template what we want to get or some rules we want to pass so that we can get a response. Okay. Let's put that here. Okay, let's put that here. All right. Okay, so this is why we want to pass in. So we are saying you are an exceptional business development representative. When I provide you with a prospect message, your task is to craft the most effective response tailored in a letter format to the prospect feedback while adhering to the following guidelines. And we are saying these are the guidelines. Response should be very similar or even identical to the past responses in terms of length, tone of voice, logical arguments, and other details. So if the responses are irrelevant, then try to mimic the style of the response, process response. So below is a message that I received from the message, the prospect, and here is a list of responses of how we normally do. So this is basically passing the customer message and the response to the knowledge base. So we actually put in the prompt, this information within the prompt, right? So we are telling it this is how we want the response to be created. So please write the best response that I should send to the prospect. All right. So we want to just return the prompt template, and in that we are passing the input variables, which is equal to the message, and message, and we calling the prospects responses. Okay, and we are passing the template. So we are saying template is equal to template. All right. So we just returning the prompt template. Okay. And we are passing the input variables as the message and the prospect responses, and template is equal to template. We are passing the template. All right. So let's see the next one. All right. So now let's create a function for the LLM. Create LLM chain. Right, so in the chain, let's see LLM is equal to replicate. So we're having two sides of this. We want to run the big 70 billion chart. All right, so we want to run that. And so we want to run the 70 billion chart. So we want to get access to replicate. Okay, right, so model is equal to, I'm going to pass in the model name. So I have several videos that show you how you can get this. If you don't want to walk you through how you can get access to that, it's the model. Okay. So in replicate, it's the replicate. Here you type explore, you type Llama2. Right. So as you can see, there are a lot of models here that you can grab. Okay. You can just say you want Llama 7B. Go here, you click to API, That is, if you want to run that in the cloud, you can go here, API, and go down here. You look for right here. You can copy the whole um, model. So you can copy all this and you come and paste it in. Okay. All right. Okay. So the next thing is let's create an input for the model. So input is equal to pass our temperature. You can say temperature controls the randomness of the output, right? So the higher the temperature, it means that it's going to change anytime you run. Max length is say 500. Store a top percentage. Let's make it 1 for now. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's create our next thing. So guys, I'm going to show you how you can do that with the model from downloaded from Hugging Face right here. All right, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me now create a prompt. Pass the prompt is equal to pass a chain. Let's pass the prompt is equal to this function right here. Now let's return chain passing the LLM is equal to LLM passing the model, passing the prompt as well. Right. So let's generate the response now. Generate the response, say message, see the data, passing the database at the vector store, we're passing our chain. So prospects. Right, so let's pass the retrieve info, and within that, so we are passing the message and the database to vector store. All right, so we return the chain at run. So we are now running the chain to get a response. So message is equal to message and prospect response is equal to prospect response. Right. So within the to generate the response, we pass in the message, the vector store, and the chain, and we create a variable called the prospect response. We want to pass in the retrieve info to help us retrieve the information, and we pass the message and the database. Right. So we return the chain. We run the chain through the message and a prospect response to get to generate the response. Now let's create the application. We are saying main sd.header passing. We are saying customer response generator. say something like books. Okay. Say message. Go to create a text area where we want to input our text. You want to say customer message in response. So go to st.empty. So now if if the send button is hit, so if there's let's create a send button. We are passing the send. So we're going to create a button called send. So if there's send button and if message is sent, this is what we want to do. Create a response saying right, or saying generating message, something like this. Create a variable called document. And the document we say we load our load data function to create a document, and we pass our DB database that we pass in the function that we created, document. And for the chain, create LLM, we pass the function LLM, the results, we pass the generate response function, create pass the database, and pass the chain. Guys, this is very simple. Now we want to write our response. So info, say results. Okay. Right. So if go down a little, if name is equal to main, so we just want to make sure that functions, everything is executed. So main, right, perfect. Right, so this is pretty straightforward. Okay, so we are loading the data from the CSV. Okay, and we are splitting the text into chunks. All right, so we do a chunk of 15. So depending on the size of your data, we create that into chunks. We return the chunks. We create embeddings using the Hugging Face embeddings. Okay, and we store it into create a files, this vector store. We store it and return the vector store. And we create a function info, retrieve info. We pass the query, and we pass the vector store to the database. And we want to return the pages, and we pass the prompts. Okay, create a function called the create prompt template, and within that we pass our message and the prompts responses from the CSV. We want to return the prompt template, and then we create a LLM where we want to start with the replicate. We want to run the 70 billion chart, passing our parameters, and return the chain LLM chain, and we generate the response. We pass in, we want to get a response, so we pass in the message, the database, and the chain, and we return the messages and the prospect responses when we run the model the chain. And we create the application. We write the header, customer message, response to go to the is empty, so st.empty. So if we hit on the send and the message, it should generate something like generating message. We load We start loading the functions in here, create the embeddings. We store that into load data into document database. We load it the create embeddings and the into database and create LLM chain. We load that into chain, generate responses. We pass the message and the database and the chain. We pass it to a resource, and we want to write the responses, the info. All right. So let's see how this works. Okay. So let me just run it and see. All right. So let me ask question and let me see. Is there a warranty? Hit send. Let's see. All right. So chunks overlap. So it's an error. Let's see what the error says. Chunk overlap. All right. It looks like chunk overlap. Okay. So let's see. Let's go back. All right. Perfect. It looks like it works. Okay. So thank you for your interest in our product. We appreciate your inquiry about the warranty. Yes, all our products come with a standard warranty. This gives a perfect response to be sent to the customer. Okay. Oh, I love this. Okay. All right. So, all right, let's look at that versus. So, yes, all our products come with a standard warranty. Please check the warranty. It works pretty fine. All right. So, let me quickly show you how you can do that with the look with the Llama 2 7B chat. Right. So I mean, you can just play around with the models and see which one really works best for you. Okay. So we can go that. So let's write. So within that, we can just say LLM is equal to. So we are using the C transformers to load the model from Hugging Face. No, I don't need this one. C transformers. Oh, transformers pass model is equal to. Let's go in here, hit rename, copy that. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, I'm going to say .gguf. Right, so the next thing is let me write config, as in a config, say max token, max new token 512, and temperature, put that 0.3. Okay, just write it here. Right, temperature. So you can pass in, you can use the, so that's the small versions using the C transformers to load that. And yeah, you'll be all set to go. Okay. Right. So just try it out and see how it goes. Right. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And see you in the next one.